I'm Michael Bain, and welcome to Triggered, coming to you from the secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains in Dragon House Studios, brought to you this week by Muzzle Stick, Chamber and Muzzle Flags, and Hunter's HD Gold and their active blue sunglasses, which incredibly make me look like Tom Cruise in the movie Risky Business. Now, we've been talking about general purpose rifles, and the reason we've been talking about them is this is a critical niche within our industry. You see more and more rifles that fall into the idea that you can use them for almost anything you might want to do. Very important in economic times like these, where none of us are going to have a golf club bag full of rifles. Basically, I and Steve Clifford, a good friend of mine, and met him in a scout rifle class, have been working on the concept of a general purpose rifle which follows along with Cooper's ideas for a scout. It's got to be light, it's got to be in a significant caliber, .308. Cooper's goal is 39 inches, 3.5 kilograms, which is 7 pounds and some odd, 7 pounds 11 ounces, something like that. Forward mounted optic, idea that you can use it to engage a man-sized target out to 500 yards, take any big game, essentially, in the North American continent. It's light enough to carry all day. Now, we've expanded that concept for a general purpose rifle, for a rifle that's good for hunting, a rifle that's good for training classes, taking a class with the rifle, which, if you got a rifle like this, you deserve to take a really good class for it. A third thing is to push out the distances a little bit longer. Now, what we've been talking about here a lot is this gun. It is a SIG Cross. This particular one is in .308. I love this rifle. I love its folding stock. I love its fitment, the way it can be adjusted. It's got a lot going for it. Interestingly enough, Steve had a Cross and didn't like it. And he instead focused his general purpose rifle on the Steyr Scout, same as my friend Robert Parker in Texas. And that was essentially the first Scout as designed by Jeff Cooper. We have gone to rear-mounted optics because essentially the revolution in optics over the years. And because of the success of low-powered variable optics, you've seen the forward-mounted Scout scope get fewer and fewer and fewer. So I wanted to show you this today because now I'm swapping roles with Steve Clifford. He started on the Scout, went to the Cross. I started on the Cross, and now I've gone back to the Scout. This is a Ruger Gunsight Scout in 6.5 Creedmoor. When we come back, I'm going to talk about that a lot more.
This week's Triggered is brought to you by Muzzle Stick. Biggest, brightest, strongest. Taurus, USA. Always ready, always bring it. Stoeger, everyday tough. SDS Imports, Thesis. Thesis means quality. Hunter's HD Gold, they change so you don't have to. And MTM Case Guard, quality shooting sports accessories.
Welcome back to Triggered. One of the times when I was in Africa with Richard Mann, of course from Field and Stream, one of the greatest gun riders alive, he asked me what I thought of a 6.5 Creedmoor Scout. And my first thought was, oh wow, the shorter barrel, you're going to be giving up X, you're going to be giving up Y. And Richard, very perceptive question, he said, well, okay, that's true, but if this was 5 years ago and I ask you, what about a .308 Scout with a 16-inch barrel, 16.5-inch barrel, what would you say? I said, I'd say the same things I just said. And he goes, right. So in a sense, you don't give up much when you shorten the barrel. So in about 2017, 2018, Ruger did a special run of 6.5 Creedmoor Scouts. Did it for Davidsons, who were exclusive distributors, composite stock with this digital camo on it, 18-inch barrel, 18.5-inch barrel instead of a 16.5-inch barrel. And you know what? It lay on the shelf and lay there like a big flopping fish. And pretty soon Ruger dropped it. They no longer make a 6.5 Scout. I was lucky enough to get this one because it's factory blemished. When they put this finish on the composite, there are several places where it didn't take. So basically it was a non-sellable rifle, and I was able to buy it from Ruger. And what I found with it was it is a singularly great gun. It has been through a class with me at FTW Ranch. I shot as good as I have ever shot in those classes, especially on their Scrambler, which is a very complicated course set on the side of a hill with ranges from like 250 to 380, 400 yards. We're shooting it with this gun with a 5X, a Leupold 5X illuminated scout scope, and I had the best runs I'd ever had with this gun. Secondly, with 6.5 Creedmoor, it didn't beat the crap out of me. Now, I've gone through classes with 308s, I've gone through classes with 300 Win Mags, and boy, it beats you up. So I decided to flip it on Steve Clifford and go back to a scout rifle and see about pushing the distances out, because 6.5 Creedmoor gives me the opportunity to push the distances a little further than 308, say 1,000 yards instead of 800 yards. Scope that's on this, I would say, is one of the best hunting scopes ever made by man on earth. It is a Swarovski, it's a 5i, X5i, and it's a 3.5 to 18, which makes it perfect for anything in the North American continent. I have used it hunting. I've used it hunting in Texas. It is a singularly great scope. A little heavy at 30 ounces, but not as heavy as some of the 3 to 18 scopes that we've been seeing. So I'm going to put a lot of rounds through this, and you can see when I mounted it, I had to make some changes. I removed the peep sight at the rear, and because of this 52 millimeter bell, I had to remove the Scout rifle rail. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of this gun when I come back. I got a couple of new products to show you.
You know the RIA 5.0 packs radically new innovations, but we didn't stop there. Introducing the RIA 5.0E. The E stands for enhanced, as in new optics, cuts, and plates. The updated barrel is crafted with improved materials and slide geometry. The look and feel is also enhanced. Plus, new lightning cuts show off the updated match-grade barrel. Experience the enhanced RIA 5.0E today.
Welcome back to Triggered, where in this segment we're going to talk a little bit about a gun that everybody wants and nobody has because they're not made anymore, and what some of the changes are I'm doing to it. This is a Serbu Super Shorty. It's 12 gauge Remington 870. I think 1 round in the chamber, 2 rounds in the tube. It was originally designed as what you would call a witness protection shotgun. It is a controlled weapon. It's any other weapon. A $5 transfer fee. Mark started making these things around 2017, 2018, and everybody loved them. So much so that that's all Mark was doing. Mark's a cool guy. He's like been described as a Willy Wonka of the gun industry. So he stopped making them in 2022, even though people keep saying, "Oh, Mark, please." But what's the purpose of this gun? As I said, close-in witness protection. Boom, not a long way off. So I've had it for a long time. As I said, Mark's a good friend, and I'm adding this to it at this late date. This is from Crimson Trace. Obviously the cover isn't on it. It's a laser, very similar to the Crimson Trace laser that we've added on this Mossberg Shockwave. And what it does is it gives this gun more value, because truly you can't put sights on this gun. This is not a gun you're going to put a red dot on or even a bead. Everything is up close, and with a laser pointer attached to it, this gun makes sense. So Mark, come on, it won't kill you to make a couple of more of these. Hang on, I got one more new thing to show you. And finally, as I've been talking about, I'm moving forward with this gun. It's a Stoeger STR-9. It's a C, the compact version. And the reason I've chosen this gun to work with, and I'll be shooting it a bunch this week, is I'm seeing more and more people who are used to carrying miniature 9mm, sub-miniature, micro 9mm, whatever, going to the little bit larger gun. Why? It's easier to shoot. 13-round magazine, fits comfortably in your hand. It is pretty much as easy to carry with the right holster as a micro 9mm. Now I've mounted a Bushnell 250 on this gun. I've used this Bushnell sight on several guns. I've been very, very happy with it. Not so much with some of the smaller Bushnell sights. I found the oddest problem, which is the battery compartment is not quite deep enough to contain that 2032 battery. And so when you clamp it down, because the battery is torquing within its little battery case, it provides up pressure on the sight. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But the 250 sight has been an absolute rock. So what we have here is a good shooting self-defense gun with a red dot sight, a world-class trigger, and I'm looking forward to the rounds I'm going to put down in on this week. Okay, that is it for this week's. Once again, thanks for Muzzle Stick. Thank you, Hunter's HD Gold, for those great shooting glasses and great sunglasses. I'm Michael Bain. You can find us at michaelbain.tv, where it's always free, a great resource for firearms information. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on X. It used to be Twitter. We'll see you next week.